Hello, Mount Rudmore here, and I am back to talk BB24. And this it has been insane in that house again. I don't know how it keeps being this crazy. Like from where this season started to where it is now, it's insane. Like I don't know how the switch flipped this hard. Speaking of flipping, there's been a lot of that. My drink today is grape soda, Fanta specifically. Crush is better, but Fanta's still pretty good. Okay. So, hello to my first viewer. Thank you for being here. And yeah, let's get into this. When I last streamed on Sunday night, uh, you know, there hadn't been a lot going on. Like most of it was just kind of maneuvering around the festy bestie twist. Like how do we handle this? And after my stream, later that night, like it was I feel like I saw something about 3 a.m. I don't know if that was 3 a.m. their time or 3 a.m. my time, but because I'm on the East Coast. But somehow in the night, the target flipped to Alyssa, and I woke up to that news. I'm like, no, I don't think this is the right call. But then I thought about it. I'm like, I do kind of see where they're coming from because yes, she does make Kyle incredibly uncomfortable. Well, she did, but we'll get to that in a little while. Don't you worry. But the the real logic here was, hey there, Scarlet Rain 88. The real logic here was take Alyssa out. Indy joins Michael and Brittany so that they're no longer at risk because they're the only pair that doesn't have a shield. Those two and Monty and Joseph were the only pairs of festy besties that were in the leftovers. But then Terrence joined Monty and Joseph, so now they have a shield in Terrence. Michael and Brittany do not have a shield. So the logic here is we take out Alyssa, we convince Indy to join us, we now have a shield, everybody in the leftovers is covered. I got all of that. I really did. But on the flip side, there was the fact that this would mean at least one of Daniel and Nicole was going to be in jury. Like all of that, it all made sense, but I didn't care because I was really starting to enjoy this take out Nicole plan. And if they're both here and one of them wins HOH, they are both going to be in jury. And they are both going to be extremely better jurors. But then, once again, I came back around to the fact that if Kyle has the veto in his hands and he does not use it to save Alyssa, she will spiral, she will freak out, and that will make for some entertaining feats, for sure. And, it looked like this was where it was going. I've said it before, Nicole can't make it to jury. I don't think it's wise. I don't think either of them should. Alyssa being in jury, like Kyle should want that because Alyssa's a guaranteed vote for him. But yes, this is what it was looking like. But then, oh, Nicole and Smellvis, thank God for their horrendous gameplay. Like, it is unreal how bad they are at this game. There's a lot of layers that we have to peel back right now. Nicole tells Smellvis and Kyle that she thinks a big group of people are working together. She thinks it's Monty, Taylor, Michael, Brittany, Turner, Joseph. That's 6 of the 7 leftovers right there. If there's one thing the leftovers are doing wrong, it's hiding themselves. Like they are not doing that very well. Luckily, she hasn't clocked that Kyle is with them. And she was I mean, we were fortunate enough that she told Kyle. And I'm thinking, Kyle, with you knowing this information right now, you have to use the veto. Okay? She knows too much. She has to go. She and Smellvis are too big of a duo with that much information. She has to go right now. But, things get so messy. And, like, now, now it's like they're hoping that Smellvis does use the veto. Because apparently it takes only one to use it. So Smellvis goes to Kyle and says, they talk to Monty, Smellvis and Nicole. And he's like, I don't know if Nicole is going to be safe if she's on the block. And Monty's actually telling them the truth here. But they interpret this as reverse psychology. So Smellvis goes to Kyle, says that Monty wants to leave noms the same. And he's like, oh, it's just laughable. He's trying to plant the seed of Alyssa and Indy being bad for my game. Monty's just realizing he doesn't have the numbers moving forward. He doesn't have the numbers to take out Taylor. And they're just like, we force him to put Nicole and Taylor up. We have the votes to get rid of Taylor because Alyssa and Indy would be, they assume, numbers to vote out Taylor. So he tells Kyle, I'm going to use it. And it's like, you have the power to keep your closest ally in the game safe. You have been warned that she may not be safe, and now you are going to use the veto to put her on the block to keep her safe. You think Taylor is with a big group of people, but you still think you have the numbers to get rid of her. Is that right? Is that what you're saying here, Smellvis? Is this your train of thought? How? How does this make sense? Like, I'm hearing myself say this out loud. I'm like, am I even getting this right? Like, I wrote it down on my phone and everything, but I'm wondering, did I miss details or something? Because, like, it seems insane. Like, none of this makes sense. But, like, even if I have mixed up some details, Smellvis really is that stupid. That's the answer to your question, Scarlett. How is he this stupid? He just is. So, veto meeting happens. The veto is used. Melissa and Indy are off the block. Nicole and Taylor are on the block. And Smellvis and Nicole are so proud of themselves. They're like, oh, we did something here. Oh, yeah, we got this. And this was something that, like, came up. Michael and Brittany, since they're the vulnerable pair going into next week, they could benefit from this. Because if a non-leftover wins HOH, and, Nicole goes home, Smellvis used the veto to take out his ally, who they thought they were working with. Like, they might blame him for this. Like, that's a real possibility here. And, yeah, he has shot himself in more feet than he has. And I'm just like, dude, he warned you. Nicole was going to be at risk if she went up. That was him telling you. outright. Like, was it for his own game? Yes, but there was truth in it. Nicole is at risk here, but they called his bluff. And now, oh my gosh, this I so want to see the look on his face on the eviction night. Haha. Oh, it will make the rounds on social media, I'm sure. I mean, Nicole's reaction to Amira going last week is still popping up in various comments on Big Brother related things. Like they're all saying this is going to be Smellvis on eviction night. But yeah, it's just she was in the clear. She was not going to be nominated. The target had shifted off of Nicole, but him using the veto, he forced Monty's hand. So it's just like they were served it on a silver platter. It's basically pooch all over again. Now, um, as entertaining as that was, as entertaining as it was seeing uh, Nicole get nominated because Smellvis was too stupid to listen, there was one aspect that ended up being a little kind of sad. Taylor was not made aware that the target had shifted back to Nicole. And to be fair, it did happen pretty quickly. So I get it, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like someone could have told her. I mean, Kyle knew. Kyle should have told her. I think. I'm just wondering if she's still going to be friends with Smellvis after all this. I said this before. They're all each other's going to have for friends when this is over. If they aren't friends with each other, they're not going to have any friends. That's not true. They probably will, but they shouldn't. I mean, they deserve each other. They're both stubborn idiots. But yeah, Taylor wasn't aware, so she was a little in her feelings about it, which I get. But she decided to you know relax by putting on her bikini and her high heels and just going and laying out in the sun. And I'm like, you know what? If this is your process, you do you, Taylor. But honestly, the fact that this happened, it is probably good for her in the long run because, you know, I assume the deal's in place. They won't put her up as a pawn again. I just hope that Smellvis and Kyle don't win the next HOH so Smellvis can go. I want Taylor to win HOH so bad. I mean, I will accept any of the leftovers winning, but it's time for Taylor. Taylor needs her moment to get her revenge on Smellvis. Like she has to be the one to take him out. It feels right. But no matter what, I think Smellvis should be next. And then we can let Alyssa be the first juror. Although I prefer Jasmine, because of course I would. I would prefer that Jasmine be medically evacuated, to be honest. She really does. Yeah. So Nicole goes to Terrence. And she mentions the six people that she saw working together, which is all the leftovers minus Kyle. Again, I still think Kyle's on their side. And it's like, okay, you think that. That's funny to me. She tells Terrence about this, and she's like, they realize they don't have the votes to take me out if I'm next to Taylor. Because like she was worried that she was the target, but now she's got it in her head that they don't have the numbers to take her out. Even though she thinks six people are working together, one of them being the HOH. So, that's 4 votes right there. They get one more. Boom. Monty breaks the tie, sends Nicole home, hopefully. She talks about how Monty didn't want it used because then it meant that Nicole wouldn't be protected. And she just mocks him for trying to use reverse psychology. And, in addition to all the stupidity here, she is telling this to Terrence right after she not only voted to evict him, but sat him down and had a long conversation with him about how he was going to be going home, which she brings up constantly. She's like, I didn't even get to say goodbye to Amira. I had to sit down and tell Terrence he was leaving. I didn't get to say goodbye. And it's like, we get it. We heard you the first 53,000 times. So yeah, she's telling him all this, and she just voted to evict him. And it's like, do you really think you have him as a vote? Let me tell you something. Since he's joined Monty and Joseph, Monty and Joseph are the two closest people Terrence has had in this house for sure. But he gets along with them. They get along with him. They're all like bros. I mean, I guess like with the age difference, it looks like a dad and his sons. But yeah, it's like I don't know. He's clearly close with Monty and Joseph now. Like they welcomed him. They were happy to have him. Not just because he's a shield for them now, but like they're looking out for him. They're talking game with him. So yeah, I don't understand why Nicole still thinks she has Terrence. The Smellvis goes to Jasmine, says Monty wanted the veto not used so that he could take out Alyssa. And then Monty realized the votes would keep Nicole, so he wanted to keep noms the same to take out a number on their side, like him and Jasmine's side. And it's so delusional. He's saying whatever makes sense in his tail spinning brain. So then Nicole goes to Michael, and she's like, it's clear that Smellvis is working with someone. She wanted to strangle him for using the veto. And I'm like, first of all, no one believes you, apart from the strangling part. It seems like you want to strangle everybody. Because she talks about that a lot. She's like, oh, I'm gonna hit them. I'm gonna slap them. I'm gonna strangle them. And it's just all very aggressive and it's nonstop. And it's like, again, Nicole, as you told us before the show started, and as you have told several people in the house now, you used to be a cop. And this is concerningly aggressive behavior for a cop. And I'm just wondering if this is why you are no longer a cop. But I mean, Michael doesn't really believe her anyway. They will need security guards in that house come eviction night, lol. Let me tell you something. If she actually, God forbid, does something physical, like if she actually has a physical response, oh my god. Like national news. And that's the kind of thing that makes it to like the cable news channels. And you know, police in America, they have a very divisive opinion. Some people despise them, some people worship them. And if a former cop assaults somebody on live TV over a game, then that is not gonna look good for the American police, like the state of American police. It's not. So, yeah. I hate that this season has made me have to address so many socio-political issues, but, like, this is true. And, like, they really have convinced themselves that Nicole is going to stay. They have the votes to keep her. And they're going to blindside themselves, honestly, which will be funny. And will be three blindsides in a row. Four, if you count the fact that no one expected Paloma to leave the way she did. But yeah, they're setting themselves up for another blindside. They're all going to be surprised come eviction. Yeah, and I can't wait. I really cannot. All right. So Jasmine is talking to Alyssa. She says that Nicole thinks she has the votes, but Jasmine doesn't think that Nicole has the votes. And Alyssa's like, I think keeping Nicole is better. And Jasmine agrees, but she doesn't want to be on the wrong side because these people are followers, you know. Jasmine doesn't care about Nicole. She cares about looking good in the house. And if she's on the right side of the eviction, then she looks better in the house. Yeah. All she cares about is not being on the wrong side. And, Nicole, that's what you deserve, you know? You think all these people are on your side, but they're just like Nicole thinks everybody's her best friend. She's like, oh, Smellvis is my best friend. Amira was my best friend. Terrence is my new best friend since Amira left. Jasmine's my best friend. Like you, you can't have that many best friends on a Big Brother house. It just doesn't work that way. That's not how the game works. They are not all going to be on your side indefinitely. Um, but this was a nice moment from Brittany. She's like, oh, poor Taylor. And she just goes on to say, Taylor was only ostracized because Jasmine just took one look at her on night one and was like, you're not one of us. And then that was it. Of course, Paloma also. But yeah, Jasmine had a big hand in this. And I mean, they are all really getting sick of Jasmine not doing anything for herself. Like I remember the first episode after she rolled her ankle, she had a diary room moment where she said, I just have to stay off it for a few days and then I'll be fine. And now here we are. It's been almost 2 weeks now, and she's still going around on a scooter. Like, come on, Jasmine. Apparently, she got a cane, which she's barely used, and she got a boot, which she hasn't used at all. It's like you like being waited on hand and foot because this is how you've been your whole life. And they're all getting tired of her doing nothing for herself. And it's like she's going to get herself taken out just by everyone getting sick of her using her injury as an excuse to not do anything. And if that is how she goes, then it's what she deserves. But yeah, going back to what Brittany said, that was why. or at least part of why Taylor was ostracized from the beginning. And it was definitely nice of her to say that. And she has like gone to Taylor and apologized for not standing up for her more. And a lot of people, I'm seeing a lot of people who are like, you know, you still participated in it. Like you're still to blame. You're still guilty. And it's like, listen, some people have gotten out of that house, been able to see the whole picture, and they still refuse to apologize for how they treated Taylor. Brittany is in there. She hasn't seen everything, but she has realized that Taylor was not treated well, and she did not do enough to defend Taylor. So, like, Brittany deserves to be forgiven. Okay, if someone apologizes for doing something wrong, and the person they're apologizing to forgives them, but you still refuse to move on, then it's like, it's we're gonna get to a point in society, and some people are like already there, or they're just gonna not see a need to apologize because, well, you hate me already, I might as well just stick with it. And like that's a mentality that has gotten us to where we are today. A lot of people refuse to apologize when they're caught doing something wrong. And refusing to forgive people who do apologize for doing something wrong is not helping. Like you can't just be mad at someone forever. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. I always felt like Brittany and Michael, like anytime they did participate, it was like, if they speak up, they're going to become a target. So there wasn't much they could say. But they're with Taylor now. They're in the leftovers with her. They're protecting her. Actions speak louder than words. And their actions now are trying to keep Taylor safe and their whole alliance safe. So, yeah, you don't have to forget, but you can forgive. It's okay. It's allowed. Now, that's not to say that I am going to accept the long tweet thread notes app apology that Smellvis and Nicole inevitably make if they do after the season ends. I can't even say inevitably because they might not see anything wrong with the way they behaved. I think at best, I think Smellvis might because he's going to be like, "Oh crap, I'm not selling as many tickets now." But I don't care, and I know Taylor's going to forgive him and Nicole. Nicole is going to forgive everybody on this season. She's going to want to be friends with every single person because she is a far better person than I am and can ever hope to be. Taylor is a borderline saint. She always sees the best in people, and she digs deep to find it. And even if she can't find it, she like I don't know. I don't want to say like she makes it up, but she finds a way to see the best in anyone that's treated her badly. Although it does seem like she's willing to be a little cutthroat on her final plea on Thursday as to why she shouldn't be evicted. She's planning on possibly being a little harsh, like speaking up more against Nicole, which should be interesting to see. But I do believe after this, Taylor's going to be friends with everybody. She's going to forgive them, and they're all going to continue to have a group chat where they talk smack about her. And they're not going to tell her about it, and she's still just going to be their friend because she's kind and they're all fake. There it is. That's why, right there. So anyway, um, Nicole's talking to Terrence again. She's like, "Oh, I totally have the votes to stay. I got this. I'm staying." And she's like, I'm going to win HOH. I'm going to put up Michael and Brittany, which is the nightmare scenario, because then someone from the leftovers is going home if they stay on the block. But if they win the veto or if they come off, Monty, Joseph, and Terrence are her next targets. Mostly Monty is her target. But she's telling this to Terrence, who would go up in that case. And Terrence would leave. So the fact that she's saying this and doesn't realize how dumb it is, like she doesn't. I feel like she might have even forgot Terrence joined Monty and Joseph because she's straight up telling him, I'm gonna target Monty, which means Terrence will go up. Of course, we don't really need to worry about that too much because at the moment the votes seem to be at least six. It's the five leftovers who are going to be voting and Terrence. I'm pretty confident those six, at the very least, are going to vote her out. And Jasmine, she's trying to play a follower game, so she wants to be with the majority. So that could very well be seven right there. And if Kyle gets to Alyssa, he could convince her, and he might be able to now, especially get into that soon. But obviously, Smellvis isn't going to happen, and I don't think Indy's going to happen because Indy, once she started drinking the Taylor hate Kool-Aid, like she just keeps drinking it. She can't get enough of it. It's all she talks about now, and it's like, Indy, what happened? It's like that Tyra Banks gift. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. It's a shame. So then Nicole says to Terrence and Smellvis, this game, it brings out the best and the worst in people. And in our case, it brings out the best. She really said that. She actually let those words come out of her mouth because she has no self awareness. She constantly talks about hitting people. She has bullied Taylor from the beginning. Like she wasn't even on the hate train at first, but she she took it over. She's just generally miserable. She's apparently not even cleaning up in the kitchen after she cooks, and it's attracting ants. Like, you're a chef. You're supposed to know how to clean up the kitchen. Like, she doesn't really like anybody else trying to do stuff in the kitchen, and yet she's not even taking care of it. So, yeah. If this is her best, then God help us when she gets out of the house and she's allowed to go back to her worst. Now, the last thing I have written, Alyssa and Kyle apparently kissed. They kissed, I guess. I haven't really seen video of it, but people are not thrilled about it. I think Kyle pretty quickly moved to the bottom of the leftovers, as far as everyone's concerned. And, I'm trying to be like, maybe he's just doing it for game reasons, but a kiss, that's a bit much. And I feel like, you know, if he is still trying to work against Alyssa, then he's leading her on. And that would just be kind of mean. And I saw his mom's been posting on Twitter a lot, and she's been like, she's been, she has not been fond of Alyssa herself. she finds her a little too clingy, and she is not happy about this, which was kind of funny, but you know, I don't know. I think uh, I think it would be in Kyle's best interest to get Alyssa to jury, and when he's not HOH, he just has to like I don't want to say convince them to put her up, but just kind of stand aside and let it happen because Alyssa is essentially the next target after. Well, she seems to be the next target after Nicole. Like she might even be targeted before Smellvis, which I think would be a mistake. I think uh, I think Smallville needs to go first. I don't think he should be in jury. Like he has said outright, apparently, that he would be a better juror. So yeah. All right. That's all the notes I have in my phone. Let's see what I can gather from social media. Pretty sure I saw something on Twitter that Alyssa has a boyfriend. Well, probably had one. LOL. Oh boy. This so he her her person, she mentioned on the show having a person. He surfaced on Twitter. He's like, so yeah, I was with Alyssa, but now she's never going to get the time of day from me again. And I'm like, whoa, if she really did go in with a guy, and like she went in saying she was single, and and you know, and this was on the episode that Alyssa mentioned to Joseph that she misses her person back home. And Joseph told this to Kyle, and Kyle's like, what? I gotta say, for someone with glasses, Kyle is definitely pretty dopey. I thought he was gonna be a nerd, but he's a complete tool. He's a meathead with glasses. So yes, Alyssa does not have anyone on the outside anymore, but she did going in, and she kept that a secret, and just casually mentioned it to Joseph like it was no big deal. All right, now time to check for anything that's gone down in the last 38 minutes since I've been streaming. All right, BB Daily, do you have anything for me? The last few times I've done this, BB Daily hadn't updated in a while. Oh, okay, we got some stuff. Only a few posts, but they were an hour ago. Oh boy, Jasmine is back on her BS. Everybody is scared that it may flip, but I don't see how. How do y'all not want to get this girl out already? In reference to Taylor. And Terrence is like, she gone. Jasmine, you, me, Alyssa, Indy, Daniel. Who's the sixth? Terrence is like, gotta be Kyle. Jasmine, need one more to be safe. Uh, so there goes that. Jasmine, I mean, at the moment, Jasmine does seem to think the majority is going to be Taylor. But if she can be convinced that that's not how the majority is voting, then, you know. And she's telling this to Terrence, who, like I said, I think is he's with Monty and Joseph. And if Monty and Joseph are like, take Nicole out, he'll do it. So yeah, that's just Jasmine being Jasmine again. Not even surprised by it anymore. Terrence says if Taylor stays, she is joining Indy and Alyssa to protect herself. And Jasmine's like, dang, why would she want to join them? And Terrence says, I think she feels Kyle is connected to Alyssa, Indy's connected to Monty, so why would they shoot? And, okay. Um, hmm. Now some people are starting to think this is indicative of Terrence possibly leaning the other way. And I'm like, you know, as long as the leftovers hold strong and Monty breaks the tie to send Nicole home, I'm just like, I don't know. Nicole says, I talked to Turner yesterday. I talked to Joseph yesterday. I need to talk to Brittany today. Michael asks, how did the conversations go? Nicole says, pretty good. I talked to Daniel a lot yesterday. I think he is so set on getting Taylor out of here. I can't argue that. This is all they talk about. Their hatred for Taylor. And I'm like, we just we just gotta hold firm. We just need the 5 votes. We need 5, and we need Monty to break the tie. It's just please don't let it flip back. I hope that was just Terrence telling Jasmine what she wanted to hear. Although I don't know, maybe mentioning who Taylor would join that might have been too much information. I don't want to see Jasmine get her way again. She's been getting her way the whole time. Ever since she rolled her ankle, she's been catered to. And it's just like, come on, leftovers. You just formed. We're all rooting for you. We can't lose this. But some have been suggesting that Michael could potentially flip just because that would get Nicole to join him and Brittany and they would have a shield. And I'm like, you're really willing to sacrifice one of your own to do that? I don't know. I want to believe that Michael would not do that. I want to believe that. I want to believe that this alliance is going to be loyal to each other. All right, checking the hashtag now. See if I can get some other perspectives. I can't see that happening in all fairness either. I mean, I won't say there's zero chance, but I'm just you just gotta have faith that the leftovers will hold strong. Um, just I'm just trying to weigh every scenario here, like they would, and I just don't see it. I don't see them turning on each other this soon. Like, is it a guarantee they're going to be the final 7? Of course not. But they really need to get themselves to jury. They really need to do that. So, I feel like this is going to be a stressful 2 days. I feel like there's going to be some back and forth. I would hate for Smellvis to make such a stupid move and have it all work out for him. You know, Thursday can't come soon enough. No, it can't. Like I started this stream feeling pretty confident about what was going to happen, and yesterday I just could not stop laughing at how stupid they were. But now, like since I've been doing this and since I've been reading stuff, I'm just like, I don't know. I can't get too comfortable. That was Amira's mistake. That was Pooch's mistake. I can't let it be mine. There's always a chance. I think the odds are better that Nicole will leave, but I can't act like it's 100%. Like I can probably say there's a 60-70% chance. So yeah, it's just I need her gone. I need Nicole gone. I can't I can't take it anymore. Because if she outlasts Taylor, she's gonna be so insufferable. Her goodbye message to Taylor is gonna be unwatchable. Jasmine's is gonna be unwatchable. Jasmine, I'm probably gonna have to mute for like the rest of the season for however long I last. Oh, I was just telling my mom today how I was so miserable at the start of this season, and it's just gotten so good. And now here we are, things are shifting back possibly, and now it's all just kind of up in the air again. And uh, I don't know. Oh, BB Daily updated again. Uh, Kyle is talking to the camera. Says, "I really like her," referring to Alyssa. "I don't know what to do because she is outside of the Leftovers alliance." Well, what you do is you just sit back, bide your time, let her get to jury so she's a guaranteed vote for you if you make it to the final two. And when someone else wins HOH, they do what they got to do. And Kyle says, "This idea was brought where I wasn't going to use the veto and we were going to take Alyssa out this week. That was the hardest thing to hear. Morally, it was so difficult to feel like I was lying to her. Luckily, Daniel came to my rescue." I mean, to be fair, Kyle, you were talking about getting rid of her yourself. Just saying. I am playing so dumb with Daniel. He really is. He thinks I'm an idiot. He is telling me all of this stuff, and he trusts me for some reason. I'm the one who started the Leftovers Alliance. He has no idea I'm going to vote with them. That's tough, too. Now I'm lying to Daniel's face. Don't feel bad about that, especially if he leaves next week. Then he won't be in jury, and it won't matter. Kyle says, Daniel is thinking, we have the numbers to get Taylor out this week. I'm going with him when in reality, I know he is using the veto to basically send his best friend Nicole out the door. It's the dumbest move in BB history. It's up there, for sure. This is honestly him doing that. Smellvis using the veto to put Nicole on the block, thinking she is going to be safe. That is on the level of Fessy from BB20. Like, all of Faute was just that alliance was cursed. But they had so many opportunities to actually turn the game in their favor. But through either bad luck or bad gameplay, it didn't happen. And Fessy won HOH when there were 9 people left. And this was their last chance to actually gain some power in the house. And at that point, it wasn't even really Faute anymore. It was the Hive. That was what they called themselves after Swaggy and Caitlyn and Bailey left. So at that point, it's just Fessy, Haley, and Scotty. But Fessy and Haley were a show, man. Scotty was he was just close with them. And he was working more with them. And meanwhile, there's clearly a huge alliance that's pulling all the strings because Fessy and Haley keep getting blindsided. So what does Fessy do? He puts up Scotty, thinking that Scotty has a crush on Haley. Fessy did not think with his brain. He thought with that thing down there. And it was so stupid. It was the stupidest move he could have possibly made, and it doomed him. Scotty was evicted. Fessy was evicted next. Then they did the battle back. Scotty got to come back, was immediately evicted again. And then after that, Haley was evicted. To me, Fessy is the pinnacle of Big Brother stupidity because he won power and destroyed his game. He destroyed his game with his own power. It's just so yeah. Smellvis doing this, it is up there. Using the veto to endanger his closest ally to get out his biggest enemy. And they both convinced themselves, even though they figured out Taylor's in a big alliance, that this is the best move. It's shockingly stupid. And Kyle says that he understands the logic behind his thinking. He says he thinks it's going to be Daniel, Nicole, Terrence, me, Alyssa, Indy, Jasmine. So, he thinks that'd be 6 votes. He's like, Nicole can vote, so it would be 6-4 to get Taylor out. In reality, I think it's going to be a landslide vote to evict Nicole. And that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear, Kyle. And Kyle, he has been making moves. He can make stuff happen in that house. So, if there is any sort of uncertainty about the vote, I think Kyle, along with Joseph and Monty, I think they can make it happen. I think all they need is for the leftovers to stay loyal and for Terrence to stay loyal to Monty and Joseph. I think both of those things can happen. Now, I'm not going to say there's a 100% chance Nicole's going home. I'm going to up it a little. I'm going to say 75% chance. No, 80% chance that Nicole goes. 80%. It's looking good, but we're not there yet. We have not crossed the finish line. The finish line is when all the votes are in. And Julie says, by a vote of such and such to such and such, Nicole, you are evicted from the Big Brother house. Or, better yet, by a vote of whatever to whatever, Taylor, you are safe. She only does that once in a blue moon, but it's pretty enjoyable. Like, she should have done that last week, I think. By a vote of 7-4, Terrence, you are safe. Like, wouldn't that have been awesome? A lot of people were disappointed that didn't happen. And yeah, that could have been good. All right. Just checking for more stuff. Apparently, Kyle's talking more about kissing Alyssa. I kissed Alyssa yesterday. What am I thinking? Is this the dumbest thing ever? Coming into this game, I said, no showmance. It's day 28, and I am so bored and I am so horny. When he said, I'm so horny on Sunday's episode, I thought he said, I'm so corny. I didn't think this Mormon kid would say horny on national TV. But I thought he would say corny because he is a little corny. He's like, it's so bad and she is so hot. I was making out 2 feet away from Joseph. I'm getting sloppy. Back, sorry, child issues. No worries. I get it. Kyle's just talking about how conflicted he is for kissing Alyssa. I really like her. That's scary. I thought coming in that maybe a girl would like me or have a crush on me, but I didn't expect her to like. I didn't expect to like her back. Oh, he went in thinking a girl would have a crush on him. I don't like hearing people say that, especially guys. Like, dude, I don't know. With your glasses, I don't really. I don't know. I can say that I used to wear glasses. I got rid of them, and still no one will kiss me. But anyway, that's beside the point. Um, I think about us kissing, and I get excited. That's why I have to wear this hoodie because it hangs down. Oh my god, dude, you're almost 30 years old. You don't know how to. You don't know how to hide when you get excited. Come on, every man learns how to do that by the time he's 12. If you were in the house, would you have a showmance with someone to further your game? I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but I definitely play it smart. Wouldn't want to get caught because showmances do get targeted. Whether it hurt, this is Kyle. Whether it hurts my game or not, I would rather enjoy moments with people I care about. We just need to be more discreet about it, and that's fair. Makes sense. I'm worried my relationship with Alyssa is affecting the Leftovers alliance. I am wondering if that's why they wanted her gone this week. I don't think it is. Brittany and Michael are just in a tough spot. Again, Kyle, you have brought up the possibility of taking out Alyssa because she made you uncomfortable. But I guess she doesn't make you uncomfortable anymore, so you just kind of forgot that happened. And then Kyle says, I think I'm still good with the alliance. I need to keep building trust with them. I think that will get me to jury. I made a final two with Turner. I think me, Turner, Michael, Brittany is the move for final four. Hmm. I don't like not hearing Taylor in that, but that's just me. And to be honest, that's leaving Joseph out too, which I don't think is right either. I think the final four should be Taylor, Brittany, Michael, and honestly, just whoever can get that fourth spot. But I'm leaning towards Joseph. But like that's an issue that's way down way down the road. Like, let's just get the alliance to jury, and if we can, to final seven, and then from there, may the best man or woman win. You know, I mean, once the leftovers do inevitably turn on each other, which will have to happen, as long as they play fair, then you know it is what it is. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me. I I'm surprised I got myself over an hour today. Good for me. But that's gonna do it for me. Thank you, Scarlett, for joining me. Thank you for anyone who watched this on YouTube. And I will see you next time. Peace out.